think. We'll see, though. Oh, he's hurt. He got it again. He got it. Diaz covering up. Those are heavy punches.
There was some kind of Russian stuff going on between those two in New York, and Khabib slapped him.
You guys caught me under a bad time, but you know what I'm saying? The Rock's cool. I like ballers.
Come live Friday. All right.
But something different. I definitely would love to be a firefighter.
Now he's got the back.
Now, that's it. He's got the choke.
Diaz!
He's out.
He has done it!
Number 10. Between Jorge Masvidal. During their clash for the BMF title, a sense of mutual respect was evident between Jorge Masvidal and Nate Diaz. However, the fight's outcome didn't deter Diaz's desire for a rematch. Despite the camaraderie, Diaz expressed his intentions to seek a second chance against Masvidal.
There ain't nobody who done it right but me and him. So I know my man's a gangster, but
He was caught fairly early on in the Anthony Pettis fight, was able to fight through that.
It seems like there's more than one cut.
Masvidal talking some trash now in between exchanges. Oh!
See him over here smiling with Masvidal. Should have Mike Tyson handing out a belt if anybody.
Diaz's post-fight comments indicated his eagerness for a rematch opportunity, suggesting that he had unfinished business in their rivalry. While the initial encounter may have featured respect, Diaz's post-fight remarks hinted at his competitive spirit and determination to secure another chance to face Masvidal in the octagon and potentially alter the outcome of their first showdown for the BMF title.
It was like I was up on stage with my team and a whole bunch of amateurs.
I don't think. We'll see, though. Oh, he's hurt. He got it again. He got it. Diaz covering up. Those are heavy punches.
with this belt, I want to defend it against your favorite quarterback loses that rifle. I don't feel the same when I get in here no more. It's been 20 long years. I love all of you.
Number 9. Dana White. Nate Diaz has been vocal about his grievances with the UFC and its president, Dana White. Although not characterized by outright hate, Diaz has expressed his frustrations regarding various aspects of the organization. One major point of contention has been fighter pay, with Diaz openly criticizing what he perceives as inadequate compensation for fighters, especially considering the revenue generated by the promotion.
People are even still doubting whether we had something to do with this whole thing. We're going to get our biggest star arrested.
We got the fight. Today's the press conference. Tomorrow's the weigh-ins, and Saturday's the fight.
Telling everybody, you know what I'm saying? Them babies don't need to be watching no fighting. It ain't got nothing to do with it. I don't need no baby pity either.
Additionally, Diaz has taken issue with promotional decisions that he believes favor certain fighters or matchups over others. He has also highlighted a lack of respect for fighters and their contributions to the sport. While not a manifestation of hatred, Diaz's candid criticisms have underscored his desire for fair treatment and improvements within the UFC's operation.
Top 10 kickboxers. You're playing touch butt with that dork in the park. The ponytail.
There was some kind of Russian stuff going on between those two in New York, and Khabib slapped him.
Like I said, I'm from the highest, biggest company in the world, the UFC.
Number 8. Benson Henderson. Following their lightweight title bout, Nate Diaz expressed dissatisfaction with the unanimous decision outcome against Benson Henderson. Diaz believed his performance was better than the judge's decision indicated. The fight took place on December 8, 2012.
I would have tried my best to do the exact same thing I did to Mamadov today. Khabib's pretty darn good.
You don't make it to 7 o'clock, you lost, dude. You can't make it, you can't cut it. Straight up.
1 minute remains. Oh my!
So I was not even just mad at him and them. It's the whole amateur promotion these guys don't know how to do, and they're making it the new wave.
At UFC on Fox 5, despite Diaz's comments, the judges scored the fight in favor of Benson Henderson, with all 3 judges giving him the victory. The aftermath of their bout continued to fuel the competitive tension between Diaz and Henderson, underscoring the passion and rivalry that define the world of mixed martial arts. Diaz's refusal to accept the judge's decision and his belief in his own performance only added to the narrative of their memorable clash for the lightweight title.
Benson Henderson!
And you're shooting on me now, so me and you know that this is a wrap. This is a wrap.
You guys caught me under a bad time, but you know what I'm saying? The Rock's cool. I like ballers.
But at the lab, MMA lab in Glendale, Arizona, we're all about being well prepared.
Number 7. Donald Cowboy Cerrone. Leading up to their fight, Nate Diaz's disdain for Donald Cowboy Cerrone's cowboy persona and fighting style was evident. Their matchup resulted in an intense and memorable fight of the night performance. Diaz defiantly gestured towards Cerrone during the fight, emphasizing the animosity between them. From the outset of the pre-fight press conference, it was evident that Diaz and Cerrone held animosity towards each other.
This is the longest camp I've had in a long time, and I'm not complaining to anybody, but I just don't love it anymore.
Me and you are supposed to meet to train tomorrow, for training for jiu-jitsu or boxing or MMA or whatever.
And he's not taking people down and submitting them, so I just, he's one of the old fighters, the old breed, so.
We're gonna do it right next time. Thanks for having me, everybody else. See you guys next time, right?
Thanks, Nate.
A notable incident occurred during the face-off, where Diaz removed Cerrone's cowboy hat and pushed him. Another iconic moment saw Diaz showing Cerrone the middle finger, a gesture that lingers in fans' memories. Diaz's recent revelation sheds light on the situation. He was triggered by what he perceived as rudeness and unprofessional behavior from Cerrone, which fueled his determination to dominate the fight. Diaz's aggression led to his dominance in the early rounds, reflecting the intensity and personal stakes of their feud.
One hell of a career, man. Hopefully one day I'm in the Hall of Fame, and thank you so much, UFC. Come alive, Friday.
I don't want to mug you across the room all the time. Like, I'm tired of that shit. Like, us always having, so let's be cool.
They all got punked and they were butthurt. Got them all and they're standing. Well, the way it works at the UFC is
Number 6. Michael Johnson. The feud between Michael Johnson and Nate Diaz was fueled by both competitiveness and a tinge of bitterness. Before their bout, Johnson watched Nate Diaz financial ascent through high-profile matches with Conor McGregor. Despite being content for Diaz's success, Johnson couldn't help but feel the missed opportunity after Nate's post-victory call-out of McGregor following his win against Johnson at UFC on Fox 17. Nate's subsequent money fights, particularly the $2 million rematch payout at UFC 202, accentuated Johnson's sentiment of being a stepping stone. Johnson's desire for a rematch stems from a sense of wanting to prove himself as a formidable contender, not just a stepping stone. Johnson acknowledged Nate's deserving success and veteran status in the sport while expressing his aspirations for significant fights and earnings akin to McGregor and Diaz. Johnson, fueled by his win over Dustin Poirier, aimed to rise to the financial levels of Diaz and McGregor, asserting his intent to conquer the spotlight when his opportunity arises. A prospective rematch with Diaz, Johnson emphasized, wouldn't be underestimated this time, potentially altering the trajectory of their feud. Number 5. Khabib Nurmagomedov. Nate Diaz and Khabib Nurmagomedov's interaction has been marked by tension and verbal exchanges. In 2015, they had a confrontation at a World Series of Fighting event where Diaz accused Nurmagomedov of being a bully. Their rivalry escalated when they fought at UFC 239 in 2019. Diaz has criticized Nurmagomedov for his recent comments on Mike Tyson's podcast, where Nurmagomedov discussed street fighting and his mother's advice. Diaz, known for his outspokenness, dismissed Nurmagomedov's statements, calling him full of shit on social media. These instances showcase their ongoing animosity, fueled by their differing personalities and Diaz's perception of Nurmagomedov's behavior. Despite facing off only once in the octagon, their history of confrontations and verbal sparring has contributed to their tense relationship outside of the cage. Number 4. Anthony Pettis. In the lead up to their potential fight, Anthony Pettis expressed his strong desire to face Nate Diaz, a rival he's had a long-standing feud with. Pettis believes their animosity has its roots in various incidents over the years, including encounters during the filming of The Ultimate Fighter reality series in 2014 and a backstage interaction of Diaz's teammate Gilbert Melendez's fight in 2015. Pettis feels that Diaz turned up his tough guy persona for the cameras, but is eager to settle their differences inside the octagon. Pettis also mentions that the UFC initially considered the matchup between him and Conor McGregor, but that didn't materialize. Given the choice between Diaz and McGregor, Pettis opted for Diaz due to their personal history and unresolved issues. He expressed his intentions to hurt Diaz and emphasized that this fight holds a personal significance for for him. Pettis' remarks highlight the genuine animosity and desire for redemption that fuel his anticipation for a clash with Diaz. Number 3. Josh Thompson. Following his victory over Nate Diaz with a knockout, Josh Thompson was well aware of the ongoing Diaz brother trash talk and grudges. Diaz had been vocal about wanting a rematch, criticizing the stoppage and expressing a desire to face Thompson again. Thompson, however, wasn't faced by Diaz's callouts and criticisms, even referencing that Diaz's corner threw in the towel during their first fight.
The reason I was off is because everybody sucked. There was nobody to fight.
But something different. I definitely would love to be a firefighter.
Thompson indicated that he didn't see a compelling reason for a rematch. Given the dramatic finish of their initial bout, he left the decision to the UFC, focusing instead on his upcoming fight against Benson Henderson. In a lighthearted jab, Thompson hinted that he might consider a rematch with Diaz for the payday it would bring. Despite Diaz's persistent, Thompson meant to stir the rivalry and focused on his own fighting career.
So he a full-time capper.
With the pressure on Josh Thompson over the top. Right hand by Thompson.
Number 2. Leon Edwards. Following their fight at UFC 263, Leon Edwards shared some insights into his interaction with Nate Diaz. Diaz offered Edwards a piece of advice. Despite winning the fight by unanimous decision, Edwards acknowledged that he got complacent in the final round and got rocked by Diaz. He admitted to learning from that lapse in concentration. Despite Diaz's dismissive attitude during the match, Edwards respected his opponent's tenacity and ability to keep going despite taking a beating. Edwards' victory over Diaz is crucial for his career, potentially leading to more high-profile fights and a shot at the title in the welterweight division. Number 1. Conor McGregor. Nate Diaz's dislike for Conor McGregor stems from a combination of factors. Their rivalry began with McGregor's brash and outspoken nature, which Diaz found disrespectful. McGregor's trash talk and demeanor during their build-up to UFC 196 irked Diaz, who felt it was scripted and insincere. Their fights were intense, with Diaz feeling that McGregor underestimated him and disrespected his skills.
Now he's got the back.
That's it. He's got the choke.
Nate Diaz. He has done it.
Diaz's victory in their first fight, despite McGregor's confident predictions, fueled his animosity. Additionally, the significant attention and financial gain from their matchups might have intensified the rivalry. McGregor's portrayal of himself as a superior fighter and his perceived arrogance clashed with Diaz's straightforward and authentic approach. These factors, combined with the competitive nature of the sport and the spotlight on their bouts, contributed to Diaz's strong feelings towards McGregor. That's all for this video, folks. I'll see you next time.